Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis Cocker, and with me tonight we have Stu Woolley as my co-host. Tonight we will go through and gather as a community. We will talk about the Diogo Jota incident, tragedy, and also talk a little bit about potential transfers that's happened during the day. But the main topic will be about Jota. So we will be back after the intro. If you're new to the channel, smash the like and please subscribe. See you in a bit. Yes, guys, girls, welcome to the Tactical Devils. I hope you're well. Stu, it's been a tragic day. The main topic and news of the evening all day has been the accident with Diogo Jota and his brother. He plays for Liverpool, but we all respect the footballing community, and it was quite a shock this morning. I woke up and I saw you had sent me a message. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a sad day for football, actually. Tragedy can strike anybody at any time. A friend that I've been playing football with for over 30 years, 3 months ago, lost his 17-year-old daughter. She went to sleep and she never woke up. And that was a very, very rare form of pneumonia. And it's affected me terribly, so much so that my kids hate me right now because I phone them 15 times a day, each of them, just to hear their voice, just to let them know that they're loved and that, I'm thinking about them. And I read that this morning and I read it with absolute shock. At first, I thought it might have been the young man who plays for Celtic as a Jota or a Jota, however you pronounce it, plays at Celtic. And then I realised, I went on to read that it was Liverpool. And then it wasn't reported. It took Sky Sports time for it to filter. It took BBC time for it to filter. And it took BBC Sport time for it to filter through Twitter as well. And so it was a very strange 5 to 10 minutes when actually people were starting to get the notifications, and then the severity of what had happened comes through. Football is a very tight community. And we mourn the loss of footballers. We mourn, and consolidate and really console with everybody concerned, his family, Liverpool, the supporters. We've all known, we got friends and family that are supporters of Liverpool, supporters of other clubs. It's not just about Manchester United. It's not just about Liverpool. And what we're all experiencing of a 28-year-old recently married, it just makes you wonder what's around the corner for us all. And I sometimes listen to people in the street or in coffee bars. I would say supermarkets, but we don't go to supermarkets. We're lazy. But places where you go and you hear people bickering over the most stupidest, ridiculous things, and you wonder why. And there's this modern craze now of people and idiots with cameras going out and annoying people daily now just for clicks and views on YouTube or social media. And I just wonder what motivates these people to be idiots. And I'm just really, really sad about what's happened today. I'm sad about what happened 3 months ago to my friend, because he will never ever recover. So God only knows what Jota's parents are thinking right now. They lost two in the same accident. They will just never recover. And I hope and pray that whatever happens, whatever matches are going on around the world over the next few days, that fallen footballers are remembered and not jeered. And I want us, and I'm hoping that when we go to Liverpool and Liverpool come to us, we are equally respectful on that particular match day, because, you know, whatever we think of Liverpool, and we all know what we think of Liverpool, it's a tragedy what's happened. We don't want to speculate. I'm glad that there's been no speculation as to how it happened. Yes. I'm glad that nobody's come out and tried to point the finger at anybody. But I'm equally disturbed at the fact that somebody decided to get the pictures up on social media as soon as they possibly could. It's a scoop, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
There's no room for that for me. You know, a fireball. Well, you know, there's just no room in it. So I'm sure everybody in our community, the Devilish Tacticos, there's 77 watching already. We've been live 5 minutes, which is terrific. I'm sure you will join me, and I know Jarvis will have some words in a moment, in wishing, you know, Diogo Jota's parents our condolences. All Liverpool fans around the world, our condolences. The Liverpool Football Club and football fans in general. Tonight, let's just come together. Let's not get bothered about histrionics. Let's not worry too much about what we've got come in, etc., etc., etc. Let's just think about how lucky we are right now to still be here.
100%, Stu, 100%. And I felt that, you know, Stu and I actually talked a little bit earlier today that is this the right day to do a stream? And, you know, we were a little bit back and forward, you know, out of respect of Jota and his family and the football community. Is it the right moment to sit here and talk about a trivial thing like transfers and football when life is so much more? But I figured that maybe we should do this because I think it's a good place for the community, like you guys, Stu and I, to come together and sit here and you know, talk about it, because I think that's the only recipe when it comes to a tragedy like this. And you know, we are both Stu and I family men. We have kids, and you know, it's always sad when something like this happens. It wasn't only Jota that passed away today. It was Jota. Yes, he was born. We played for Liverpool 96 to 2020. No, born in 96 and died sadly in 2025. But also his brother Andre Silva, younger brother, born in 2000, only 25 years, and he also passed away today. So you know, it's terrible. And you know what really made me almost cry when I looked at these pictures. You see, I have three beautiful kids and a beautiful wife. He just recently married. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and you know, life has always a surprise for you, and you never know what's behind the next door. So you have to cherish today and the moment you live in, and you know, be grateful for what you got. So I don't know, Stu, what are the community saying about this tragedy?
I think it's hard to know what to write sometimes. Main guy says, you know, he's not a parent. How does she recover? It's not something you could ever recover from. You have to bear in mind, you're so used to picking up the phone, texting, receiving a message back, being told to get lost because you've annoyed them and told you, you know, they hate you and things of that nature. All parents, we all will receive that from our kids, and it hurts at the time, but as over time it grows to make you love them even more. It's ridiculous. You can't describe the love that you have for your children. It's an unbreakable bond that when that person isn't there, in all walks of life, by the way, people have very, very similar bonds to pets. I'm not a pet owner, the main guy, so I can't relate to that. But I know that a lot of people that are would be absolutely distraught. And I wouldn't know what to do. If it was me, I just wouldn't know what to do. I would, and I think you all know me. You all know my personality. I'm a punchy person. It takes a lot, but I think I'd just rather curl up in a dark, cold cave and not come out, because I just wouldn't know what to do. Wouldn't know how to coexist without my children and my friend Anthony. I look at him and he's just broken. He's just absolutely broken. And I just can't imagine how his wife must be feeling, and the children won't not seeing daddy anymore. I mean, they won't know. There's two very young children there, three young children, but two very young who just won't.
And their uncle, and
yes, and their uncle. They just won't understand that daddy's not walking through the door anymore. And as I said before, we've all been frustrated just recently about what's going on with the club and all of that. And then suddenly, in a split second, you just, it doesn't matter. It is what's happening in the transfer market really doesn't matter. And we did, me and Jarvis, we went backwards and forwards. We almost landed by not coming on tonight, but just pushing just a thumbnail at a picture of Diogo Jota and just leaving it and not coming live. But there's 91 of you already watching, and you knew we would be discussing what's happened today. So thank you for joining myself and Jarvis in what is going to be a difficult stream. But we'll do our best to. We won't be as cheering, as chirpy as normal, but we will cover the current things. But in our hearts, our hearts go to everybody involved, concerned with Diego and his brother and his family tonight. Life's way too short, and I love this one. Vera's Hive. Life's too short. Hug your loved ones and repair any broken relationships. Absolutely. I totally agree. I think that's a lovely sentiment. Catherine, no nonsense McDade, and she's a bit like me. No nonsense. R.A.P. Jota, absolutely. And the main guy, his aunt passed away on his birthday, and it scarred him. Had my family wishing me well that day, just to call later that day. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. You've got us. You've got us. We've all got each other. Me and Jarvis have always said, on a personal level, what our Twitters are. If ever you want to reach out to myself or Jarvis outside your friendship circle or your family circle, you're more than welcome. We're a community here, first and foremost.
I have an open account, so people can send me messages, DMs, whenever you like, So I'll try as good as I can to have the time, to respond, but it's not always that I have time to respond. So, but try to reach out, and Jordan Wall also comes in and say we are a family. We are a great community, and I'm glad we have built this together. It's not just you and I; it's all of us coming together 2-3 nights a week and talk football and everything about life and between. So this is what we got. And today was also a day where the football community came together. A lot of messages out. This one is from Bruno Fernandes. He comes in and say he released a statement. So he said, friend, colleague, and companion in 1,000 battles. It's difficult to understand how it's possible for someone to leave so soon. May you and your brother find the peace you need to look after those who you lost so soon and suddenly. My condolences to your entire family. Both being Portuguese, I think that's very, very good from Bruno. And there was also this one from Jurgen Klopp came out and say, "This is a moment where I struggle. There must be a bigger purpose, but I can see it. I'm heartbroken to hear about the passing of Diogo and his brother Andre. Uh, Diogo was not only a fantastic player, but also a great friend, a loving and caring husband and a father. We will miss you so much. All my prayers, thoughts, and power to Ruth, the kids, the family, the friends, and everyone who loved them. Rest in peace." And there's also this picture of Klopp and Diego Jota. So a lot of heartbreak, today, and I fully understand it. It's a shock for all of us. At the end of the day, it's just football, but this is life and death.
It is. My brother actually posted a picture on Facebook. My brother, and both my nephews, when they were smaller, met Diogo Jota when he was at Wolves, and he took the time out, to look after the kids, speak to them, sign autographs, sign shirts. He was one of those players that would go out of his way to, treat kids and really, invest them into football. So we posted a picture of all three of them, and behind them was Diogo Jota and big smiles by my little nephews. So that was nice touch to see.
Yes, definitely. We always try to respond in the non-live comments. So if you want to talk and can't reach out, if you don't have X, leave a comment in the non-live section after the show. And I will always respond. And Stu is also there responding. So
please do.
Glad you appreciate it, Stephanie. And this came out from Man United today, also official account. He said our deepest condolences are with the loved ones of Diogo Jota and his brother Andre and everyone connected with Liverpool FC following today's heartbreaking news. And I think this is really good to see that Man United actually reach out in a moment like this. We have been through, the Munich disaster, and there's been other things, when it comes to football, and the football community stands together. We understand each other, when it comes to something like this.
Yeah, we should also remember that what a brilliant player he was on his day. He was a scourge of Manchester United, wasn't he? Him and Ruben Neves. Do you remember the pair of them were scourges? When they're on the Wolves day, and it was. We all used to. He goes to Liverpool. It got even worse. But he's one of those players that you can rely on, isn't he? He would, if he didn't start, he'd come on the bench and he would score. He would have that impact, wouldn't he? Very, very quick, very direct, good skill, good feet. Knew where the goal was. He looked never in the news, ever in the news. Never saw him. Never critical, never big time Charlie, as Sir Alex would like to call these players. He was one of those footballers you couldn't really hate, could you? He was one of those. He had his moments with us with Liverpool, didn't he? When he might have fallen over a little easy. But we're all footballers in this, and we all love football in this community.
But he was always, Jota as a player, he was always up against one of the two of the best in the world. You had Sadio Mane and Salah. He was like Oli, he never complained, always ready when he got the chance as a sub or when he got a start. I think he performed really well, always in form, always ready. So for me, it shows me that he was a true professional in his ways. And also he was really good when he played for Wolves. And we also see here about Liverpool hanging flags at half-mast at Anfield today in memory of Diogo Jota.
So since the R7 have an accident in Portugal. He did a few years back, actually. I think he was driving a Bugatti. at the time. But it's not something that we know, Malos, what's happened. We've got no inside information whatsoever about what's happened. But
Yeah.
you got to salute the man for
A
what he
lot of great messages coming through
Yeah,
this community. So, guys,
thank you.
all love, all love.
Yes, yes.
So, we've done about 20 minutes now paying tribute to Jota. Well
We have.
deserved as a player. A lot of respect for him. A lot of grief, shock today because of the accident. But life needs to go on, and the show must go on. So let's talk a little bit about transfers and the latest that's been going on tonight. I know it seems trivial, but we're not going to do a Scorsese tonight. Maybe we'll do 60 minutes.
Yeah. I think we need to do something, about that,
Yeah.
Charles.
So
We might have just a tiny bit of fun towards the end. Watch this space. Watch this space.
yeah. So Stu, tonight we heard about some rumors, and the main topic of the show is this one. Exclusive. Newcastle have sent a £55 million bid to Nottingham Forest for Anthony Elanga today. Negotiations on the way with Newcastle now pushing to get it done. Newcastle have been trying on a lot of players, been rejected a lot, but
yeah, they have.
I think they are determined when it comes to Alanga. It feels like it. And a bid of 55 million, that's a respectful bid. When you think of Cunha 62.5 and Bumo haggling on 60 back and forward. So do you see it possible that Newcastle can land this deal?
I do. I do for two reasons. I think Alanga will want to go and play for Newcastle for sure. And secondly, I think Newcastle, you're right, they've been knocked. I'm trying not to laugh here because they've been knocked back quite a lot recently, haven't they?
Yeah.
By clubs and by players. And I think he'd be an absolute terrific fit for Eddie Howe. And if they can keep Alexander Isak and add Anthony Elanga, his pace and his power and his ability to get the ball in, then I think it's a match made in heaven for Newcastle fans. And quite rightly, they're excited. Now, I must admit, I did raise my eyebrows a little bit when Forest completely said no to 50 million a couple of weeks ago. And I must have thought, you know what? Catherine says Isak's replacing. Alanga's replacing Isak. Oh, I didn't know that, Catherine. That's I thought it would have been an accompaniment, to be honest. I thought at 50 million, I thought, well, you know what, 50 million is a great price if Forest can get it. I really did. I think it was a brilliant price because he's never been that player that we would consider being anything more than £30 million. He's there are some players in this world that have got a margin and a markup, and you think there's no way you're going to go and pay 55 potentially, because I think it'll be 55 plus 5. Jarvis, I think it'll be 55 plus 5 million.
It will be an add-on, yes.
Yeah, it'll be 60
add-ons now. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that is, what are we selling for? 18?
15, I believe.
Is it 15? Yeah, I can't quite remember. It's a brilliant turn of profit for Forest. Now, you could argue that Forest might look at it and think we've got to pay United anything between 5, 6, maybe even 10 mil, depending on the final price. So they'll drag that up so that they can, limit their losses. But ultimately, two things about this. First of all, give Alanga a lot of credit. because he's gone to Forest and he's carved out not just a reasonable career now, but a £60 million career in terms of what he's been sold for. I think 55 is more than fair, but it won't happen. It will go 55 plus. We know that. And I think
Forest don't need to sell. They have money.
Yeah, they don't need to sell. That's right. And I really do think that it will be an extra 5. It'll be on add-on. So I think it'll be 55. And Forest will probably say we want most of it guaranteed because you can afford it. And that will be the haggling price. So from a Manchester United fan, an ex-Manchester United player, if you were standing in front of me, Mr. Alanga, I'll be shaking your hand and saying, congratulations, kid. Because to me, that is absolutely superb business for Forest. Great for Alanga. Can you imagine what that would do for his spirit as a person? We think transfer fees, as overinflated as they are bollocks, don't we? Let's be honest. There's not a footballer on the planet that's worth 60 million quid. But if you're Anthony Elanga leaving Manchester United for 15 million, and then your next move, you're worth 60 million pounds. Wow. How would you feel?
We have some Newcastle fans in the chat too. Big up to the Newcastle fans.
Big up, Tony. You are more than welcome. More than welcome. I hope you saw what I was saying, because I said it. I think it's great business for you. I really do. And if you're keeping Isak, it's even better business, because I think he'll feed Isak. Isak will be doing that.
Isak is well. I think Belly 81 comes in with the Manchester City badge. Big up all supporters are welcome in this community. So Isak will go to Barcelona next season. Yeah, we will see. And you know, they always find the money. That's true.
That's true.
Some way or another.
They're not finding it for Rashford, that's for sure. So you're probably right, Belly. Pal, you're probably right, mate, but they're definitely not finding it for Rashford. Sorry.
Graham Bailey came out also on this Alanga and said Newcastle have upped their offer for Alanga to 55 million to get the deal done. Overall, it will need to be worth 60 million to Nottingham Forest, confirming the add-ons as you were talking about. And sources from both clubs confirm that talks are ongoing and the deal not far away. So Newcastle about to make their first summer breakthrough. So it's a huge deal for Newcastle. But do you think they are actually overpaying for Alanga? Is he worth 60 million? As you said, no one is worth 60, but compared to today's market,
I think you may double your value, i.e., 15 to 30. You know, but you know, so maybe 15 to 60. I think is a lot of money. As I said before, I think Alanga fits into that certain category where 30 million would be your limit normally. I tell you who would fit into that category as well is lost me for
Semenyo. Semenyo. I think they valued him at what is it, 65?
Yeah, Hayden Hackney, 30 million. Semenyo, 30. There are a lot of players out there. Norgard, for example, went at 13. That's his value. You're never going to pay more than 10, 15 max for Norgard. There are certain players out there. Sander Berg's had a value, 25. You're not going to pay any more. You would now, but at that particular time he had his value. So I think 60 million's rich. It's brilliant for us. Absolutely brilliant for us, because we net around 7, and we could do with that 7 million. Put it straight into Jadon Sancho's pocket and say, go on a free to although we're likely to get 25 million, aren't we, from Juventus by all accounts. But again, I really do go back to him personally, Alanga. What a fillip for him as a man and as a family man, and as a footballer. I think it's a great bit of business though all round. I mean, most people, and it's a little bit rich to say this, guys, I get it, because every time you leave Manchester United, you always seem to do better, and that's absolutely fine, McTominay being one of them. But, Hannibal, Hannibal, we sold to Burnley for, I don't know, about 8 million, didn't we? 8, 9 million, something along those lines. He's only ever going to be a 20 million footballer, max, if he was to move again. So I think it's a great bit of business for Forest. Really chuffed for Alanga. And I think we should be, chuffed for Alanga, because he's proved Manchester United wrong to the tune of 8 to 9 million quid if he goes at 60. Fantastic.
Yeah. I just want to say, Stu, when it comes to Alanga, I think he did really well when Ragnick came in and took him into the team. He looked really sharp. And then I saw his potential. The season afterwards, when the first season when Ten Hag came in, Alanga struggled. He never succeeded. He looked a little bit clumsy on the ball. So I don't know what really happened, but when it comes to football, it's a lot about confidence. And
lost his way, didn't he? Lost his way. Picked up an injury, didn't he?
Injury too, that's one
but he did lose his way. Didn't he score early doors in his career with us? You have to forgive me, guys. I'm sure he scored a header, and we all thought, wow, we're onto something here. And then we got Makeda vibes. Bless him. If you remember the Villa Makeda goal, why? What the? We got here.
Yeah.
Martial. Whoa, look at this. And then it kind of. So I'm just really, really, really chuffed for him. Vintinator, spot on as always. Let's have it.
Big up.
Yeah. Food, rent, petrol, TV license, etc. They're all a rip off. Neymar 220. And Vintinator, you might not have been following me and Jarvis about 3-4 years ago. And Jarvis,
we go way back 5 years at least.
Yeah, Jarvis backed me up on this, because I was on a stream and I said to everybody, I said, the transfer market is fucked. As soon as the Neymar deal was on, the transfer market is fucked. Anybody who's worth nothing will be worth something. And that's where we are. What I'm really chuffed to see, forget the Wirtz deal, forget that. Coutinho went at 140, didn't he? What I'm really pleased to see is transfer fees had rolled back, haven't they, a bit? But smaller clubs are trying to push them back.
Looks like 60 now is the new 100. A couple of seasons ago, 100 was the maximum limit. Now it's like 60, 65. Then you're pushing it. Yeah.
But smaller clubs are trying to push it again, aren't they? Brentford being one of them. They're trying to push, 70 million they want, really, don't they? Let's be honest. I don't, for Mbumo, we don't want to pay that. We want to pay 63, 65. If we end up paying 70 million, the whole fan base is going to go into meltdown. What you've been dicking about for 8 weeks? Why didn't you just do it? And all of that kind of stuff. So I really am pleased for him. I think, for him as a man, as I say, as a player, I just think that's, that's absolutely brilliant. But you'll never see anything like Neymar again. No. Even that Lamine Yamal.
I will. You never say never, Stu, when it comes to football.
And we also said, if you remember on that stream, I won't lie. I did say is when I remember finishing it off with, Neymar will never ever ever be sold again, and he forced his way out of PSG for nothing.
Yeah,
because he knew he was, because PSG were never going to get that money back because of his salary, his wages, and they were never getting it back.
Johnny Kimod also comes in and say that's true until Liverpool spend over 100. Yeah, so I was wrong, but it feels like 60 now. A lot of players like
no, you're
60.
right. No, you're right. You're 100% right. I think the Wirtz deal likely to be a one-off.
Exceptions from the rule.
Yeah,
is that how we call it?
Yeah, I can't see anything else at 100, and that's why Etitike, whatever it is, 100 million euros. No chance. Nobody's going to even entertain 100 million. For him. Eze, 60 to 70 million.
I think it's 65 or
Yeah.
67.5 or something. Yes, a buyout clause. But why are we talking about this Alanga to Newcastle? We are not a Newcastle channel per
No,
se.
we're not.
We are a
Right.
United channel, Man United channel. And the thing is, there is a buyout. No, there is a sell-on clause because we sold him to Newcastle, to Nottingham Forest for 15 millions a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. And there's a apparently there's a 20% sell-on clause. But the problem is I haven't found any sources that can verify 20%. So I'm
Yes.
a little bit unsure if this is 100% true or it's just speculation. So don't arrest me on this. But maybe it's 15, maybe it's 25. But in those years when we had a lot of players out, we had on Angel Gomez 25%, on other Man United players in that bracket. It was between 15 to 30%.
That's it.
And the way when it goes with a sell-on clause, how I believe it is, they already paid 15, so we're not getting 20% out of the full 60. We're getting 20% out of the 45 million.
Yeah, it's
Everything
anything over the 15. Yeah.
over the 15 million.
Yeah.
So it will be a 4.5. That's 10%. So it's 20. We are talking about 9 millions.
It could be 9. It could be 8.
If we end
Yeah.
up on 60.
Yeah.
Well, that's money Man United really need at the moment. Another 5, another 6, another 10 million.
All tops up. We've got to make a decision on Greenwood, haven't we? He's now officially, or as of Monday, he's
With
officially.
Greenwood, I think we will be talking about a 50% sell-on
It's
clause.
50%. It's massive.
Yeah.
It's huge. Greenwood, it's huge. I think everybody's hoping that PSG would come in and do that deal.
And Rashmana also comes in and say United will get 15 million from a sell-on clause for Alvaro Fernandes.
Now that looks like it is going through, doesn't it? With Real Madrid, they look like they do want to do that deal, from what I can gather. So I think that would be ideal. So we could get a nice few bits of money, but our biggest issue is, although. Jarvis, did you not have a wry smile on Twitter today? I did. Last couple of hours, Manchester United are edging close to finalising the Mbumu deal. God's sake. I mean, do me a favour.
I will come to that.
Why would you do that? Why would you? Sorry, I had to get it in, mate. I know you want to bring it up, but quick question for me. I am titanium absolutely brilliant last night. I had a brilliant time training. We did bleep test and shuttle runs, and I believe I collapsed desperate for oxygen, and I couldn't quite crawl to my Zimmer frame, which has now got wheels on it, by the way, guys. And for Trevor Wade, he's not in the chat tonight, but I've got leopard skin around the top of it, so it's nice. And my hands get sore now, Jarvis, as you know, so I've got leopard skin just to comfort me off. But it was absolutely brilliant last night. We've got a friendly this weekend, which should be fun. A couple of it's a team called Catsil. They have a couple of ex-Parma players in their 11. If you remember Parma Football Club back in the day, a big club, weren't they, Jarvis, Parma?
Yeah.
So they've got a couple of ex-players. One's a very, by all accounts, he's got a sweet left foot. He's going to be playing up top, so I'm not looking forward to that. But he's a bit shorter than me, so but I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Whether or not I can breathe Sunday night, Jarvis, because we've got this Sunday morning for some reason. I don't know why. I can breathe Sunday night if I'm like going.
No red wine for dinner Saturday night.
It's just that he's run me ragged. At this time, I don't know what it's like in where you live, guys, but at this time of we're not allowed to use Tipton's pitch because obviously they've seeded it ready for the new season, so we have to go with 5G, 3G, 4G pitches, and we just have to get what we can get. So I
Yeah.
believe we're away. So I'll, if I'm alive Sunday, I'll keep you looped in, guys.
All the best, buddy. All the best.
I can't confirm myself, but my heart's going now. It's like beats and 10 to the dozen. My watch is going to be buzzing in a minute. Abnormal heart rate because I'm panicking. So.
Mike is coming in and he's scraping the barrel. The people running the club, 2 good players, both we let go. United are a disgrace, so he's not happy with how things are currently. And I think you're not alone when it comes to this, Mike. Good to see you. And Routinator comes in, with a good response to say it's all down to the leeches. That's the Glazers, and everybody goes BSK to them. Yeah, love United, hate the Glazers, always.
Tony, I'm not going to read your comment out. I'm hoping it's just a bit of fun and just a bit of frivolity, but this is not a chat for that, buddy. So we're not going to block you, but please, please don't.
No, we're trying to keep the community respectful.
We won't block you, but please be respectful, because that's not what it's about. The females in our chat, the women in our chat, are absolutely top draw and don't deserve a message of that nature. So please, we won't block you, but please, we don't want that. Thank you.
Okay, Tony.
That's okay, mate. That's absolutely okay. We're not being horrible. We just, but thank you for acknowledging that, pal. That's great. Thank you.
Okay.
So here we go. Rushmano, has he sent you that?
No. Okay. I had some other news lined up. Give me 2 seconds, and I will find the
I'm
link.
still panicking about Sunday morning, Jarvis. Honestly, I am entertaining.
But I just want to finish off when it comes to the 20%. I just saw an interesting tweet from the Swedish Rombo. He knows these things when it comes to this, and he actually says that United could earn 20 million if Alanga is sold to Newcastle. Because he's also saying the same as I said. There's been no official report. It's just been speculations about the sell-on clause, and he mentions a lot of other sell-on clauses at the moment. United had big sell-on clauses that summer because we sold Iqbal with a 40% sell-on clause. Pelistri was sold with a 50% sell-on clause. Mason Greenwood with a 50%. Alvaro Carreras, he had a 20% sell-on clause, and Pereira had 20%. So he's speculating that the sell-on clause could be even higher than 20%.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting.
So we could be talking about 40% maybe. So it could be worth up to 20 million. So,
but ideally, we want that deal to go through. It'd be brilliant anyway for the player. I do maintain that. I think it's a great piece of business for Newcastle, though, Jarvis.
It is, but it's interesting because I had the same feeling. There was nothing out there confirming the 20%.
You did. Here's the thing, though, about Alanga, right? Just imagine what he got out of Chris Wood. Chris Wood had scored maybe a handful of goals a season, hadn't he? Handful, 5, 6 in the Premier League when he was in there. What did he get last year? He got something like 15, 16 Premier League goals, didn't he? Who was supplying him?
Chris Wood, yeah.
Here's a brilliant one from my entertaining, though, just for you, Jarvis. Is Hernan Crespo playing? If Hernan Crespo turns up, then I'm walking off. Because
Batistuta, still with his long hair blowing.
Can you imagine if he came? I say, Jarvis, you never gets wine.
Fabio, look.
Gabriel Batistuta. I've got his boot mark here where he trod on me. Get out of my way, peasant. As he treads on me as I'm on the floor. No, thank God. I don't know. Thank God for that. But what a player he was. Hernan Crespo. Crikey. What a legend. What a great player.
I will find the latest on Anthony. But first, we can go
Don't
to
you
the
just love our
next.
chat? Don't you just love our chat? There you go. 12, 14, 10 and 10 at Burnley. There you go. Don't you just love our chat? Absolutely brilliant. Thank you, buddy.
So
Top job.
Chris Wheeler has been doing something today. He wants his spot of the limelight and talking about Man United. Chris Wheeler is not the most reliable guy, but he's someone that knows a little bit. And he says Man United are listening to offers for Rasmus Højlund, but most of the inquiries for him so far has been over loan moves. So there is concrete interest from Inter Milan, which may develop into permanent transfer or a loan with an obligation to buy. So this is where we stand with Rasmus. A lot of interest, but only for a loan at the moment.
I think there's a bit of interest. Just before we go to that, Chris, you are more than welcome, buddy. Everybody is welcome in here, and do not worry. You just say what you want to say, pal. And the moderators are absolutely brilliant, and you'll love this community. You come in and you can have your say. Just enjoy your time with us, buddy. That's all I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome as well, mate. Welcome. There's no smoke without fire, Jarvis. It's an old saying. It's an old saying. And I kind of, there's something bothering me about this, in as much as I actually think Inter Milan are really kind of, there's a bit of a serious interest string here, and I think a loan move would be absolutely brilliant with an obligation to buy. We pay, still pay 50% of his salary. I don't think would be disastrous, and I think he needs a season away from Old Trafford, as we said before. But I wouldn't be averse to keeping him either, because Cunha could just get the best out of him. So could Mbeumo. They could really just get the best out of him. Because
so you still think he can turn it around?
I was just about to offer a very, very tiny caveat, Jarvis, and that caveat is when you've got Ahmad on the one side and you've got Garnacho on the left, what are we lacking out of those two more than anything? Experience and know-how. Proper experience and know-how. Cunha and Mbeumo could say, look, this is where I need you. When I'm here, I need you there. Yeah. And I will deliver. If you stand there, I will deliver. And you never know, something might twig in his... Look, I agree with you, hold-up play, problem. But do we want him running away from goal, or do we want him running towards goal? We need him running towards goal. And you might just get something that tweaks and resonates with him. But I still think it's a good option for him.
Yeah. I can't find anything on Anthony. So
No.
Mano, send it to me if you have any links that I can show on screen. But personally, for me, I think when it comes to Højlund, he needs a loan. He needs to get away.
Yeah, Carlos agrees with you.
Yeah.
Chris has come in and said that every club makes us overpay. Absolutely, pal.
Yeah.
You are not wrong. Mr. B, quality. Good to see you, Mr. B. What about loan to the WWE for Højlund?
Mr. B.
With an option to buy.
But I have an interesting question for you, Stu, when it comes to Højlund. I want your opinion on it.
Yeah.
If you want to develop Højlund, we all say, okay, he needs a loan, he needs to get away for a year, needs to reset his career and try to develop. Is going back to Italy the best way for him to develop as a player? Maybe try the Bundesliga. It's more counter-attacking, more space. It's a little bit faster than the Italian league. Or should he try alone at the league, going down to the championship? Or maybe going to France for a more physical league. He needs to develop and learn how to separate from strong centre-backs, because I don't see Italy being the best place for him.
If I was Højlund, all this summer, I would have paid for my own coach, and I'd have taken my coach away with me, Manchester United approved, but I'd take them away with me, and I'd have explained to him what I need to work on. Now I'm surmising here, Jarvis. He knows what he needs to work on. Okay, but I'm also thinking that the coach will know his strengths and his weaknesses, and his weaknesses are he gets bullied off the ball way too easy. I mean, it'd be like picking strawberries. The way that I playing against him, it'd just be like picking strawberries. It would be easy for me. But if he started getting aggressive, he's a big lad, started, pulling my shirt, started trying to get in front of me all the time, it'd be a nightmare to play against because he's got bundles of energy. He just doesn't use it. And I was did you see, I'm sure you guys have all seen the pictures on Instagram of the players on holiday, etc., etc. Did you not see it? I had to do a double take on Højlund. He looked like an old man. His hair was long, his shorts were untidy, his top was untidy. He just looked fucking, I don't know, he just looked like an old man. And I don't like that. But on the flip side of Jarvis, I'm looking at workouts with Yoro and Mainu, how they're putting each other through the paces. Why the hell isn't Højlund in that mix? Look, lads, I'm 21, 22. Can we all go away on holiday, all our families together? Can we all go together? And then I can train with you.
Yeah.
There's nothing, the wives and girlfriends could just go and do what they want to do, can't they? We're going to do 3 hours of training a day. Girls, we'll do it early in the morning where it's cooler. And then we'll spend the rest of the day with you guys.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the same again and the same again. That's what I want to see. You've got to admit, you've taken a lot of heart in seeing Mainu and Yoro. Yoro looks, and so does Mainu, looks ripped. But Mainu looks like he's lost his bulk, but he still looks ripped.
He's a little bit leaner now. And I think that's a good thing.
Yoro looks lean. And look, why aren't we seeing Højlund in there?
I have to say, I don't like footballers bulking up because I think it takes away their mobility, their balance, their pace.
That's my excuse. I've been looking for an excuse about my balance and pace and how it's all disappeared all of a sudden. I know. Now I know. I'm going to go lean, guys. I'm going to go lean. I've been told by my main man here. Lose some weight. Lose some weight. But
we all saw Casemiro, for example.
Yes.
Last summer when he came back, he looked so much.
He looked ready.
Yeah.
Took him 2 years to get to the stature that he needed to be our goalkeeper, didn't it? Because
everybody wants to be Ronaldo now, and I think they can just go to the gym really hard, 3 hours a day, every day a week, and suddenly bulk up. It's not how it works.
No, you can't do it.
It's about ligaments. It's about your bone structure. It's about getting used to the extra weight. So
yeah. No, absolutely. No, I totally agree. I'm just hoping that whatever we decide to do with Højlund, that he makes the very best of that situation. So if he goes, he makes the best of it. If we keep him, he makes the best of it. But I'm kind of struggling a bit here with the Ollie Watkins conundrum because I'm kind of, Jarvis, I hate to say it, guys, I'm warming to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I'm warming to it.
I just sent Roshmano a message. So if you have the Anthony stuff, I want to bring it up. We are 53 minutes. I have a couple of more news we can go through before we go. We can do a quick Q&A after that. But there's some you mentioned it, Stu, but this was out today with Mbumo. So just in Man United are edging closer to sign Brian Mbumo, and there's a growing confidence that the deal will be done soon. And this is again Chris Wheeler, Nate Salt. It's a nothing news, but
I didn't mean to laugh there, Jarvis. I apologise. Edging closer.
Edging closer.
Edging closer. Wow. Look, what on earth can you say to that? I mean, first of all, Centre Devils are only reposting What, Chris Wheeler and Nate
Yes,
Salt?
Chris Wheeler. Yeah.
That's what they're only reposting. That okay, I get it. I've got no problem, but surely anyone who reposts that is looking at that thinking, "What the? What am I doing? I don't need to do that." Look, it's embarrassing. I'm sorry. It's totally embarrassing. It really is. It's like saying Maradona is edging closer. Obviously, he can't to a comeback. I mean, it's not going to happen. Pele is edging closer to his 1300th goal. Big news: Jarvis is edging closer to coming out of retirement. For Oslo Town. That's what it accounts to. Breaking news: Stu Woolley's managed to run 10 yards 2 seconds quicker. And trust me, 20 seconds is a lifetime running 10 yards, and he's done it in 18. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they do it. There's no need for it. I just wish they'd just get a life, these people, and do it.
Yeah, we are like an 80-year-old man. Not going to comment more about that.
Can you imagine what will tomorrow's be? Chris has just made a brilliant, great one. That's Chris. Tomorrow's report is Mbumo next week. Yeah, of course it will be. It's Friday tomorrow. He's right, and Mbumo next week. He's right, isn't he?
And if it happens, they will retweet it.
Yeah,
like they are in the known. That's how the game works.
The best part was the pictures yesterday with him with a grey beard. The old Mbumo when he's 70 type thing. So finally signs for Manchester United. I don't know.
Let's not talk about Mbumo anymore. I'm done with it. But this also came out. It's from United exclusive. They say Man United focus is on Brian Mbumo right now, and then attention will shift to outgoings, which will be followed by shortlisting strikers. And United like Ollie Watkins. They like him and are inquiring about the base details. It's from Ben Jacobs and the United stand.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins' mates have been texting him all day. Ben Jacobs says Manchester United like you. How do you feel? I feel so much happier than
Please, like me.
If you don't like me, I'm going to cry. It's pathetic. The choice of wording is absolutely shocking. It really is. You just go, United focusing on Mbumo. That is their number one target. Once that is over the line, Manchester United will then turn attention to other areas of the pitch. Ollie Watkins is under consideration. The end. That's what and that's a more plausible. You'd be all right with that, wouldn't you? Nobody would cry. Nobody would. That's that. It's just silly. You don't want to regurgitate the same old. The same will be on Monday, but just rewritten slightly. It's just,
they need to create some news. If tomorrow never comes, lads. Yes, Catherine.
Yes. So, are you talking about Catherine? No nonsense, McDade. Are you talking about the fabled James Bond film? Tomorrow,
or the song.
Tomorrow never. The paper tomorrow, because they predict they make something happen the day before, and then so she might not be. But I thought I'll throw it out there, Jarvis. I'll throw it out. It's like throwing out the Nicholas Jackson and a Mancini. Trev Wade would love it.
Where is Trev? I haven't seen him.
Tomorrow's another day. That's it. He's not on tonight. He doesn't do Thursdays, I don't think, Trev.
No, he's not.
Tomorrow never dies. Tomorrow never dies. That's it. I'm titanium. That's it. Yeah, it's a great Bond film. If you like James Bond, anyway.
My favorite. What's your favorite James Bond movies, Stu?
Oh, there's only one for me. Live and Let Die. Da-na-na, da-na-na, da. I think it's got the greatest Bond theme.
Is that the one in Paris with Grace Jones?
No, that's A View to a Kill.
Okay.
With a View to a Kill, and that was
Yeah,
done
that's
by
Duran. Yeah.
yes. But Paul McCartney did Live and Let Die. What an absolute
Mm.
pearler of a
It's the
song.
one where they are at the island and there's like a
Yeah,
hidden
Live and Let Die. Yeah,
missile.
so yeah, they're on. Yeah, so there's a part in there where they take him out and they leave him on an island, and there's a river full of crocodiles, right? And they start chucking meat in, and the
Mm.
crocodiles somehow, oh, you gotta love it, they somehow line up, and he runs across all the crocodiles to get off and then burn the meth lab down or whatever it is. Absolutely brilliant. View to a Kill is the one with the horse racing. It's
Yes.
got horse racing, and he's some kind of weird. Now, Octopussy. Everybody loves Octopussy. She was. I can't remember her name now, but she was absolutely stunning.
Mm.
What we got? We've got Skyfall. Yeah, a good one. Live and Let Die all the way. Catherine McDade. Yeah, she loves Live and Let Die. Doctor No means no. Very good one. Diamonds Are Forever. Yeah, what a great film.
Yes.
Diamonds Are
Madhouse
Forever.
knows his stuff.
Yeah, don't they just yeah, keep them coming if you could, with your Bond films, anything like that. Favorite movies, anything
I
like
think
that.
the first film with Timothy Dalton was filmed in Norway, I believe.
So, what was his first film?
What was his first film?
What was Timothy Dalton's first film?
I think Aha had the main title song.
Yeah, they did. Aha. Morton Harkett.
Morton Harkett, yes.
I might have had my hair done like him when I was a child, but I might keep that one quiet. My mate, Mags, the keyboardist, he had that term, didn't he? My mate had his term.
Paul and Magna.
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 And who is it? Magna on the keyboards, and there was
Magna on the keyboard. It was Paul Wachter on the guitar. Yeah.
On guitar. Yeah.
Yes, Living Daylights.
Living Daylights.
Living Daylights.
Yeah, Living Daylights. We
went a little bit off track when it comes to this. Skyfall is my favorite, probably. Yeah.
I like Skyfall, Johnny K. I'll give you that, pal.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Oh, yeah, Chris has pulled up a legend film. I know we need to move on, guys, but my favourite film, Sanka, you dead? Yeah, man. Brilliant. That's what he always used to say, didn't he? My favourite part in that, by the way, Chris, is when they're doing their cold weather training and they're all eating ice cream outside, and they open the ice cream van door, and Sanka's in there, and all his hair is like frozen, and they clip one of his dreadlocks, which I thought was hilarious. Absolutely, I thought it was funny. So anyway,
one last question when it comes to this James Bond thing. Who is your favorite Bond? Is it Sean Connery or Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton,
David Niven? I'm torn actually, because I like three, which you shouldn't really do. You can only.
I bet your favorite is Timothy. No, it's Roger Moore, just because of your age.
No, it's actually Sean Connery, Roger Moore, but
Sean Connery.
Yeah, Sean Connery, brilliant.
King and Country.
So suave, absolutely brilliant. Roger Moore was very good as well, but I also like. Who's the latest Bond? Daniel Craig. I thought he was excellent because they really beefed up Bond, didn't they? The last few ones, a lot more aggressive. But there was a rogue Bond who did on Her Majesty's Secret Service. And I can't remember who played him, but he was a rogue Bond. He only played it once because he was awful.
Yeah, the first one.
No, no, I think it's on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Somebody will know, but he only played Bond once.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who that was.
Blue Collar Sports TV says Timothy Dalton was underrated.
He was. Yeah, there was some great, really, really good films. And to be honest, Pierce Brosnan was decent.
It was decent, yeah.
Yeah, he was good. I think he was an Australian actor, but I can't remember what he was called.
Yes, George
George
Lazenby.
Lazenby. Well
Yes.
done, Steph. We could always rely on Steph. He always pulls it out of the bag. Well done, Steph. Man with the Golden Gun. Absolutely love Man with the Golden Gun. Quick story on that one. A very sorry, Thomas. Very tiny story. My nan knew the girl who got sprayed with gold paint. And when they did it, because my nan was a bluebell girl, she was a tiller girl, bluebell, kicker girl thing, can girl. But when they did it, they had to leave a very small patch right at the bottom of her spine so that her skin could breathe. But she was actually painted in fully gold paint. Otherwise, she could have suffocated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great film. The Rolls Royce made of gold. Jarvis's Tesla, by the way, everybody is made of gold. I'd just like to make that very, very clear. That's where he keeps all his money.
It's not true. It's not true.
You want to know why Jarvis keeps changing the colour of his car? That's why.
Let's not derail too much. Let's go back to Man United news. I just have a couple of more news. Let's go back to this about Jadon Sancho. It came out today. Juventus's position has not changed. They cannot cover Jadon Sancho's full salary. So there will be no change in salary expectations. It will be difficult. I think we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but I think we are closer than people think when it comes to Sancho. My gut feeling is he will go pretty soon. I don't think it's too much between our demands or Sancho's demands and Juventus's ability to pay. We got to remember there's some the income tax is lower in Italy, basically because the first 5 years as an elite athlete you only pay on 50% of your income. So that's why it's as low as 22-23%. And bear in mind, Man United are not qualified in Europe this season, so every player has a deduction on their salary. I think it's 20% or 50% or something. So I don't think the gap is too big.
No, I think Man United might do that deal, take the 25 mil, and help with the salary for the final year of his contract with us, which would have been, and which they don't have to do, by the way, but I think they might do that just to get him off the books. Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. But I'm not surprised that he's digging his heels in at all. We just want him gone, don't we?
We do. Jan is spot on actually when it is Romano is out of the loop when it comes to Sancho. He doesn't know the deal is almost done, because I also believe it's almost done.
No, I agree. You have been rinsed by Stephanie Griffiths. Margin. Yes. Absolutely.
4 away from 50 likes. Stephanie, thank you. People, smash a like if you haven't. I don't have many news left. I have one more. Let's see. I just got to update.
Danny B's right. Worst signing in the history. What all? Absolutely. We have a Twitch. Do we have a Twitch?
Nah, it's just like a bot.
Oh, not happy about that. Go away. Leave me alone.
3 away now. 3 away. Come on. Get us up to 50. Get us up to 50. 182 watching, 61 on YouTube, 120 on X. And 1 viewer, the bot, is watching us on
let's give him a wave.
Yeah. Twitch. So the United stand. They are quoting ABCDE Sevilla.
Yeah.
It's a newspaper outlet that the Real Betis wants Anthony on another loan deal and an obligation to buy in the summer 2026, but wage demand a problem. I think his wages is 140k a week, lower taxes, and no Champions League clause deduction in his wages. So I can't understand why the wage demand is a problem. They should just cough up the money and get it done. But I
I
think they are
agree.
playing us. I think Sevilla are playing us. They're trying to play Man United
I
because they
agree.
know we're desperate.
Cough up the money, Jarvis. If you want him, cough up the money.
Yeah.
If we've got to pay 40% or 30% of his salary, fair enough. But you are paying the bulk of it. We are not going to bankroll your pursuit of Anthony. No chance.
No.
And how the hell are they getting if they can't afford to buy him now? If he has a stellar season next year, Jarvis, a stellar season. He scored something like 9 goals, didn't he? For Betis on the
In
from
6
January.
months.
Yeah. So if he has a stellar season, he puts away 18 goals next season. His value is going to go up. Betis won't get him. You're not going to have a better time to buy Anthony as you are now. You are taking a massive gamble if you are Betis, because you would stick a decent obligation to buy in there, wouldn't you, Jarvis?
Yeah.
I would, but you've got to pay the money. Pay the money. Surely, if you want the player bad enough, work a deal with Anthony to say to Anthony, look, we need you to do this. If you want to come to Betis, we need you to do this. We'll put you on a long-term contract and we'll try and get as close to your current salary over a longer period rather than just do a short-term period. He's only young, isn't he, still?
He's, I think he's 24, 23.
24. Yeah,
24. Yeah, he's still young. He's still young.
They could stick him on a contract till he was 30.
Yeah.
No problem. And he'd still earn the money. So, do something. Actually, take a leaf out of Chelsea's book for once. I wouldn't normally say that, but take a leaf out of Chelsea's book.
I like this comment. Give Betis a deadline.
Yeah, totally agree.
Just give them a deadline.
Well,
Say,
I think we've given.
Make up your mind. We need to know before July 7th.
Otherwise,
it's gone.
Wouldn't
you want to do any deal with you? So yeah.
Would you? I think we've done that with Mbeumo, haven't we, with Brentford? I think we've stuck a deadline in now and said, look, we've got to get him in. They want him in over the weekend, don't they, Mbeumo? Let's be honest.
Yeah, they do. They
want him at Manchester United Monday morning. So I agree. Let piss off. Danny's right. Danny's right. Fuck it.
That's right. That is right. And Real Betis has just bought in 2 players for over 50 million. And they are a complete joke and think United are stupid.
You're not getting him on the cheap.
No.
You're not getting him on the cheap. Go away.
Yeah. So, And 32 million, 15th of July. They just set the date. Let's just be done with it.
Yes. So just before we go to the... Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, this is my last
I was going to say, just before we go to the Q&A, Jobs has got one more thing. Then we've got something to show you quickly, and then we'll go to the Q&A, and we will wrap the show up. We'll do about a 15-minute Q&A, guys. 10-minute Q&A, depending. We'll do an hour and a half tonight.
Yeah, we have a couple of questions in already, so yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just going to check if there's any updates on X before we wrap up this segment. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah. Do a couple of comments.
Yeah, Jay, thank you for that. That's very, very kind of you. Stephanie's right here. Tactical devils needed to negotiate for United. Absolutely. There'd be no messing around, Steph. I'll tell you that much. Yolam Amin says deadline Monday morning. Absolutely. You're getting a couple of Nicholas Jackson quotes in. Jackson 4 now, and there's a Jackson 5 as well. We might have something for you on that. You never know. What else have we got?
Yes.
Here we go. Commentary. Chris says commentary playing Betis in a friendly on the 30th. Hope I see Anthony playing if that happens. Oh, absolutely. So do we. Yola's right. Sell Anthony to somebody else. Absolutely. Stephanie's right. We give Betis a deadline. Now we're up to date in the comments.
Yep. Okay. I have some updates. Just upload them. Give me 2 seconds, and we will have a little laugh.
One for you to read out from Catherine. No nonsense, McDade.
Big up Stu and Jarvis, the goats.
Thank you.
Big up Catherine Nonsense McDade. Yes. So let's just do it. I created a new jingle, so let's
Well,
have a
before we do it, everybody, drum roll, please, and welcome to the Jarvis.
the Daily Jackson.
Ta-da! You doing? Oh, dear. Sorry. Yes, and welcome to the Daily Jackson. I hope you like what Jarvis has taken his time to put together. The latest rumour on the Daily Jackson is if you walk past Old Trafford, you will see a tent, a very small one-man tent, camped outside just by the front of the megastore. And when it opens, a little head appears and a little man says, "Please, can you spare some change for my transfer to Manchester United?" And it is the one and only Sir Nicholas Jackson. I did say to Jarvis, if Trev was here, I did want Jarvis to have a picture of Nicholas Jackson in a mankini sprawled out because I thought that would have been absolutely brilliant. But we couldn't find one.
So can you just explain this to Riot V about?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So a couple of weeks ago, we were going through Raja. A couple of weeks ago, we were going through some transfer rumours, and just out the blue, Jarvis put a picture of Nicholas Jackson doing that, pointing, and it was I can't remember who it was, but it was anyway Manchester United interested in Nicholas Jackson as an alternative to Gyökeres and Osimhen, and everybody. There was a big meltdown in the chat.
Yes,
Raja, and we've been taking the mick out of it ever since. So that's what the Daily Jackson is. Just Daily Jackson every day. A bit of fun.
A bit of fun. So this is the latest on Nicholas Jackson.
Yes.
No one has been in contact with Nicholas Jackson's camp. So it looks like he's not going anywhere at the current stage.
Look at that face. Look at it. How could you turn that down?
How he's just a red card away from crying his eyes out. And we also have this is also a news about Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea are considering Kolo Muani as Nicholas Jackson's future hangs in the balance. So if they get to sell Nicholas Jackson, they will bring in Kolo Muani. So this is the latest. Thank you everybody for watching the Daily
Jackson.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the Q&A and play another intro.
Little jingle. Welcome. Let me just move myself over. Let's get him over there, and I'll get over here. 192 watching, load you on X, and I'm not quite sure actually on the YouTube. Jarvis, how many you got watching on YouTube? Lift yourself up, Nicholas Jackson. Lift yourself up. Please come across the YouTube, smash a like and subscribe. Really does help the channel. Jarvis puts a lot of hard work in, making jingles like that, having a bit of fun, and things of that nature.
Why do you always say Jarvis put a lot? We put a lot of hard work.
You do.
It's a team effort. It's a team effort.
Well, I'm very gracious with that. The show did start off on a somber note. I know we're having a bit of fun now, but I think I think he would want us to have some fun anyway. So we should do the Daily and Boom.
We're already doing the Daily Boom.
We are doing the Daily and Boom. We just haven't got a jingle for it. Anyway, we've got about 10 minutes. So we're going to bang on with these. And the first question is from Catherine No Nonsense McDade. To you, Jarvis, specifically. Is there any up-and-coming young Norwegian talents that we should have a look at? Good question.
Up and coming that you haven't heard of, no. But the one we should go after is Antonio Nusa. He's a brilliant, underrated player. He's the Norwegian Neymar in talent, and I would actually go for him. But we all talked about Newcastle for so long. I think he chosen.
He's gone to City. He's gone to City.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, I wish him all the best.
Not, yes.
Not.
Look, I would have liked Nipan, however you pronounce it. I think it's unfortunately a very good buy for City. So, Catherine, I hope that's answered your question. Question from Emmanuel. Great to see you, Emmanuel. Thank you. How many new teams will make the preseason tour now that we only have 2? I'm stressed. Well, I think clearly Diego Leon will go on tour. Love what he says. I'm coming to play. Be under no illusion. I'm not going on loan. I'm going to kill it in pre-season. I'm going to be starting in the first team in 3 games. Love it. That's the type of attitude we want. He still looks an absolute unit for an 18-year-old, doesn't he? Apparently, he's already met Amarin. I know it's not been officially announced by Manchester United yet, but I believe his club has officially said goodbye to him. And we know he's in the UK. So he will definitely be on the plane. We know that Cunha, he'll be arriving at Old Trafford on Monday. So Sky will be camped out at every training ground in the land as the new players, so to speak, come in. You could only hope, Emmanuel, that Mbumo is on the plane as well. I'm kind of leaning towards that he will be. I don't believe there'll be a striker in situ. I think Jarvis was right in his prediction a few weeks ago that 1 or 2 players won't be in till August time. So I don't believe we'll have a striker in place between now. Whether or not Sancho, I don't believe will go. I don't believe Garnacho will go. I don't believe Rashford will go. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I would take the fuckers. I'd stick them on the plane and I'd take them out to America where it's hot and I would run them ragged. You're still getting paid for Manchester United. You're going to play. And do you know what I'd also do, Jarvis? I would make Rashford captain, as I've said before, and I'd stick him front and centre at the media. I'd hang him out to dry. But anyway, that's just me. Or I'd do the same, and then I'd do the same with Sancho for the next game, and I'd hang him out to dry. Tell us about your wage demands, because that's what it'll be. That
That's effing brilliant, Stu. Why can't Man United think of stuff like that? Just
toss
him out.
Yeah, I would make him speak, make him talk. But anyway, they protect them. Emmanuel, as soon as keep with us. Now, what we're not doing is doing 2 or 3 shows a day at the moment, and we're not making any suggestions of what's happening in the transfer market. Emmanuel, we are reporting what has been reported. Okay, so that'd be great. I love this one. Catherine, no nonsense. Midnight says Jarvis, who would win a race between Stu and a snail? It's quite easy, Catherine. It's quite easy. The snail, and by a country mile. I'd be crawling behind him and it'd be the snail would beat me. So there you go. That's just the way it is. I'm old, and that's just the way it is. Love the question, though, Gav.
Yes. But the question was addressed to me, so
sorry.
I should be able to answer that one.
Who would win a race?
Believe it or not, I think Stu would win by half of an inch. If it's like 100-yard dash or something like that.
I've got power.
Yeah.
Power in his shoulders. That'll get me there. I've got nothing in the legs, just the shoulders. That'll get me there. Catherine, I love that question. Thank you so much. Johnny K bringing the sense back in. You've got to love Johnny K, haven't you? Question. Do you think Watkins would be the kind of player Fergie would look to sign? Maybe not at 29, but just mainly about the player profile, pro improvement, etc. Jarvis.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. He reminds me of a Fergie signing, of a not too flashy of a type of a striker. We signed Andy Cole, we signed Dwight York, Ollie. Teddy Sheringham was the finished product when we signed him, I would say, and he came in late. But I think this is a signing that Ferguson could have done back in the days. And it's not about Ollie Watkins's attitude. I think his attitude is brilliant, and I think he could actually do well if he signed him. The problem is the longevity. He's 29, soon to be 30 in September, I believe. So, it's not it's not a signing for the future, but it's for signing for the now. So if you want a striker to come in, play for 2-3 years, yeah, why not? But 60, 70 million, what are we talking about? Forget about it.
60, 70.
Yeah.
I think it is a perfect Fergie signing. I think Fergie, it reminds me very
much. It's Henrik Larsson, yes, that's right, Chris.
Maybe even and please, I'm not comparing the two, but a Robin type, Van Persie type, because Robin Van Persie was something like 29 when we bought him in. Yes, we didn't pay 60 million quid. I'm very well aware of that. His goal record and his assist isn't too bad. I think he scored something about 18, 19 Premier League goals last season, 16 the season before. So he's proven in the Premier League. I think he's got good work rate. I think, actually, guys, we may get him a lot cheaper. We may even get him around the 40 mil mark because Villa have got problems with PSR. We know that. And Watkins is going to want to go to the World Cup next year. And
is he worth 40? Should we spend 40 million of our limited funds on a guy like Watkins?
Well, no,
I think that's the question.
I would spend that money on Osherman. You know that. I've made it quite clear I would push Osherman. And I think we both would consider Gyökeres again to be ahead of Watkins. But I think as a Premier League proven striker, 40 million is good value for Watkins. If you're looking at Anthony Elanga at 55, I know there's a big difference in age. But Alanga's what now? How old's Alanga now?
24?
24, 25 maybe.
Yeah, 24.
So I think if you could get him at 40, look, if Watkins was at 25 mil, it would be a no-brainer, wouldn't it? A complete no-brainer if he was at 25 mil, but he's not. 60 mil's too rich. I wouldn't touch him at 60 mil.
Alanga is actually 23. 23. Still young.
I wouldn't touch Watkins at 60 mil. No. Love the question, though, Johnny K. Right, so what have we got next? Stephanie, question, is Mbeumo transfer a marathon 26 miles or 26 days? It's definitely a marathon, for sure. I don't think we're taking our protein shakes in our boardroom at the moment because we seem to be pushed around a bit by Brentford, in my opinion. But I think he's in. Something tells me he's in before Monday.
Fingers crossed. If not, I'm starting to get a little bit worried.
I'd agree. I'll
give it a weekend and then.
Because I think he wants in Monday. He said himself he wants in on Monday. So we will see. I love this question, Jarvis. This one's for you. Now you remember Odd Job, don't you? Goldfinger, the butler, the driver, he had the hat, and he would cut the heads off of people with the hats. That's Odd Job. Jaws, he had the aluminium or the metal teeth. Who would win? Odd Job versus Jaws. Really interesting.
For me, it would be Jaws. He's a massive guy coming in with this. Thanks.
Well, here's the question.
Odd Job, he has a weapon. He has the hat. Didn't he have like something on a chain that he used to throw, like a spear or something?
No, I think that was the smaller one on Goldfinger. No gold, no gold. The man with the golden gun. There was a small guy, wasn't there? And I think he was. Yeah, he chucked spears. Odd job at that. So here's my question then. Here's a question. So everyone watching, including the late arriving Trev Wade, by the way, disgrace.
Big up, Trev.
And that is, has Jaws just got metal teeth, or does he have a metal throat as well? Are his teeth attached to his metal throat? Has he got a metal windpipe? Who knows? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. But I think Jaws would be odd job. Yes.
Yeah.
But I love that question. I like questions like that. Boxing Straight Talk as a treat. Not tonight, but as a treat on Sunday with the Daily Jackson. We'll get up the Nicholas Jackson heat map just for you, pal. Just for you.
Oh, yeah, that
would be funny.
Nicholas Jackson. Do the next question, and I will find
the next question, because there's another Nicholas Jackson just for you as well. If Nicholas Jackson turns us down.
Yes.
Which striker will we end up with? I'm going to say odd job. I said it's the question. If Nicholas Jackson turns us down. Oh, dear, don't make me laugh. What a great question. Jarvis, if Nicholas Jackson, I'll be serious now. If Sir Nicholas Jackson turns us down, which striker do you think we will end up with? Great question.
Oh, that's a difficult one.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
I feel actually that we are in a minute. I think almost like Mateta is the guy who's closest out of the options.
Yes, I'm going to surprise you. Actually, forget all our options. Who else would you go for? Strand Larsen. I know he's just on a contract. Yeah. I know, but it's just something about him I quite like. But I'd want Nicholas Jackson first, obviously. Strand Larsen's he's a way below what we should be doing.
But I agree. I like Strand Larsen. I like him.
I know. You open my eyes to Strand Larsen, just like you did with Jared Bowen. I might add. We've got a couple of questions to go. You still there? Are you still there, Dave?
Am I breaking up?
Yeah. Is it me or is it?
Is it me or is it you?
Well, I don't know. I was okay, but I think you're back now anyway. Just before you bring in that surprise for boxing, Trev would like to know. Great to see you, Trev, by the way. It would pull more birds out and a nice Rick Astley cocker or Irish stew. Obviously, my man to my right, as I'm looking at him, my left, as depending on, is super handsome, so he would be it. Jarvis could use the. I would send him across and say, look, you see that poor old man over there on the stool? Will you do me a favour? If I give you, 50 notes, will you just go over there and just make him feel good? Make him feel like he's still alive. And Jarvis gets out his wad and there you go. So I would have to bow down to my old mate. Very, very good looking chap. But Trev, to be fair, if all three of us were on a night out, we know we'd lose to you. We know
Obviously.
We would be second or third best to the main man himself. But a great question. And it's another really, really good question as well. And I wouldn't believe, I don't know what our first clue, I'm titanium, that your favourite metal is titanium, but Jarvis, what's your favourite metal?
I would say mercury.
Ooh, I like
mercury.
Platinum.
Yeah. Also because of Queen and Freddie Mercury, but mercury is kind of cool. It's liquid, metal, So mercury.
I like platinum. I don't know why. I just like platinum. Yeah, well, yeah, I do have one. I've got a platinum card. I flash around. Although, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I do not possess a black card like somebody close to me that I know. Oh, who might be drinking right now as well. His American Express black card. There's not many around in the world, by the way, but yours truly over there. We've got one more question, and I do really like this question. It's from Chris. Chris, I hope you're still watching, buddy. It's a really good question. And I think it's a very difficult question to answer, this one. And it's, what's the best game you've been to live or watched United? I'm torn between two.
Well, it's the obvious one, like the Champions League final '99, and
That's one of mine because I was there, so I was really lucky. But my other one then, Joyce, what you're thinking is, and you've heard me say this before, the 1979 FA Cup final, because it was on a knife edge. We were getting beat. I was depressed. I was upset. And then all of a sudden, big Sammy Mack makes it 2-2 after big Gordon McQueen had popped one in and made it 2-1. And then Arsenal literally, Liam Brady jinking up the left and across for Sunderland as he evades Bailey. Bailey's just, I don't know, I think he was searching for Nicholas Jackson at the time, and he couldn't find him. He couldn't pick him up because he's clearly a god, Sir Nicholas Jackson. He couldn't pick him up, and Sunderland just popped one in there. Well, it was devastating. That's probably mine, to be honest. Chris, but I do love that question, pal.
Well, I just want to say, not a United game, but my favorite all-time game is the World Cup 1998, when Norway played the final group stage game against Brazil. We had to win that game to go through. We had just drawn 2 games, one against 2-2 against Morocco, and then we drew against Scotland, I believe, 1-1. And the final game was against Brazil. They were through at that stage, leading the group 6 points, and Norway had to win. And the Brazilian coach, I think it was Arrigo Sacchi, was it him? Was the national coach? One of the yeah, maybe it was him. I can't quite remember. Him and Egil Olsen, the manager of Norway, had a dispute because Egil Olsen said in the news, if he was the manager of Brazil, they would be better. So Brazil, there was mayhem and everybody came out. They were going to beat Norway. And Brazil scored, went 1-0 up in the second half. All the players went directly to the bench against the Norwegian coach, Egil Olsen, and danced samba in front of him. They are through. I think it was Roberto Carlos or someone who scored.
Roberto.
Yeah.
Roberto
But then something happened. In the last 10 minutes, Egil Olsen wanted to sub, and he put on big guy. His name is Jostein Flo. He was the older brother of Tori Andre Flo. But he was even bigger and stronger.
I remember.
And he put him on the wing against Roberto Carlos, I believe. Or was it, who's the other? It was Cafu on the other side. So they had Stig Inge Bjørneby, the Liverpool crossing from deep over to Jostein Flo, heading it down to Tori Andre Flo. I mean, Norway just repeated that pattern the last 10 minutes, and Brazil didn't know what to do. We started playing long ball. Tori Andre Flo won 90% of the headers. Jostein Flo, and then Tori Andre Flo got a dodgy penalty, it looked like. But, there were some pictures showing that it was a real penalty. He was dragged in the shirt, so it was like a sail. And then Norway scored 1-1. And then, first Tori Andre Flo scored, and then we got a penalty. And Kjetil Rekdal scored at the decisive penalty, and Norway won the game 2-1 and went through. And I cried that night. There was like a teleprompter. I was at the bar. People went ballistic. The screen was thrown down. I didn't get to see the last 3 to 4 minutes. I only heard the sound. I was sitting on my knees praying that we was going to win, and we won the game and went through. Unfortunately, we drew against Italy, and we lost that game 1-0 in the final 16. So that was the end of the last time Norway was in the World Cup, but that was 98.
That's what you call football, isn't it, pal?
Yeah.
That's what you call football. We've got a couple of 3 questions that have sneaked in. I've been having a look. I have no idea who played Buzz Aldrin in the moon landing. I don't have a clue. So sorry about that. I'm titanium, but please do.
Maybe it was Jaws.
Yes, maybe it was Jaws.
Went to space.
Yeah, put that in the group chat because I don't know. Catherine, no nonsense, McDade. You are way too kind. Way too kind. What's the secret for doing a good looking job as a Stu? Lol. You're way too kind. I'm not quite sure what my secret is. I don't think I've got a secret. I don't know, but thank you anyway. That's very kind. L'Oreal Men Expert. I need it. It gets rid of the lines. Final question from Trev. Would you both love long hair or bald look? Well, I look like an idiot with long hair and an idiot with bald hair. But Jarvis used to have long hair. So I think Jarvis would be, he would have the Batistuta Mario Kempes flowing locks. I just look at tit, whatever my hair is. So.
It's more like Pirlo. I was called Pirlo, you know. Yeah. Some of my teammates called me Pirlo.
Oh, well, there you go. Trev, that answers your question. And final question. I do like this question because me and Jarvis are kind of like the similar taste in music, actually. Heavy metal or heavy rock? Both for me. I absolutely love most types of rock. Some of my favorite bands I've seen live, and I've been so fortunate to see bands in their prime rather than the versions of today. Guns N' Roses being one of them, which is awful today, great in their prime. AC/DC, Iron Maiden. But I like alternative, rock. I like Bring Me the Horizon, love Muse. I like Muse. Yeah, like a little bit of prog with Tool and I suppose Dream Theater type kind of music. And I love thrash. I love Megadeth, Slayer, Bullet for My Valentine, bands of that nature. So I like a real good mix. King Diamond, which Jarvis will know. They're more Danish. He's Danish, isn't he, King Diamond? But fantastic musically and vocally. So that's my type of music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, I don't know, heavy metal or heavy rock. Heavy metal for me. Like heavy metal, that's like Metallica and Iron Maiden and stuff like that. So heavy rock.
So it's
heavy rock?
Yeah. Heavy rock would be White Snake, 1987. That'd be rock. Def Leppard.
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith, Scorpions, Bon Jovi, Europe.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so heavy metal for me.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, there's still 198 of you watching us too. God knows why. Thank you. It's been a very, very strange show today. The comments have been brilliant. They've made us laugh on a day that's, it's not been great. To be honest, Catherine, no nonsense, McDade. I hate needles, so there's absolutely no way you would get me doing Botox. Someone sticking needles in my head, no.
Nah, Botox. You lose your expressions. You can't do. With this forehead, no Botox.
I try and get an expression, but I haven't got those. But I tell you what I do. I use an exfoliating mitt, and and it's quite sore on your face, but it does make you feel quite. It's a lovely message by Stephanie. Thank you for that. I think we all did. Maybe I think perhaps we've all need.
Yeah, it felt good. Yes, it felt good. Actually to do a show. I hope the community and all of you that felt better. It's been a dreadful day because of the Jota thing, but. Yeah.
But I do apologise. I've got a couple of minutes before I've got to go to take a friend of mine to the airport. So realise time
before we wrap up, I promised I want to do the Nicholas Jackson heat map.
Avon lady, you're right. Yeah.
What's your initial response when you look at this heat map?
Where is this heat map?
This, well, he's on the left.
Wow. Well, he works a bit harder than Rasmus.
Yeah. So he would probably be an upgrade on.
He's getting upset now because he gets in the box as well. Rasmus doesn't. He would be an upgrade on. Wow, that's wow. I don't quite know what to say about that.
Shabby, actually.
No, it's not looking too shabby. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
No,
let's put it away. We don't want to
get rid of him. Before Jarvis knocks off, Rushmano, member for
big up
3 months.
Rushmano, member for 3 months. Yes.
Thank you.
I put together I want to retire this little whistle here.
Yes,
so
Scott.
I put together a small super chat movie. I just want to play it for the first time for Rushmano, in honor of Rushmano being a member for 3 months. So let's just do it. 15 seconds, guys.
No. Oh yeah, you should have done it just to finish off with. I told you Jarvis has been working hard behind the scenes, and that's what it is. So I hope you liked. The Daily Jackson. We definitely hope you like that. Thank you for bearing with us for the first 20 minutes of the show. But myself and Jarvis felt it was hugely important. We made mention to Jota. One of life's gentlemen when it comes to footballers. Again, we wish his family all the very, very best.
Yes, we have Tyrell Gunner coming in. Say big up, boys. Big up, Tyrell.
Big up, Tyrell.
Gunner TV. I believe you're a Arsenal fan, but every other fan bases are welcome in our chat, as long as we keep it respectful, guys and girls. You just
read Trevor's comments. That's what I was giggling at. Sorry, I wasn't giggling at the Gunner. Sorry, mate, I wasn't. But Trevor's comments.
You can read it out if you like. It's just
Jarvis and his little whistle. Unfortunately, Jarvis, if that's what God gave you, just go with it. Trev, brilliant, mate.
Trev, yeah. Great show, guys. We will be back Sunday night with the weekend wrap up. Stu and I. Hopefully, we will have signed Mbumo by then, but who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. So it's been a great show. I want to thank Boxing Straight Talk, Stephanie, Trevor Wade, Jarle Malmin, Tyrell Gunner TV coming in late, but big up, Jay United. Hope you well, Jay. Hope you well. Rushmano, Jarle Malmin. I maybe said him. I am Titanium. Madhouse. How can I forget? Yeah.
We've had Trev, obviously. Mr. B's been in the house.
And a lot of good questions. Emmanuel Adori, Johnny Kermode.
And we've had some new fans as well come on board. We just need to try and find them, don't we? Was it Billy from Manchester City? Was it the
City fan, Newcastle fans, Arsenal fans? That's great. And we have 57 likes from Stephanie. Guys, girls, if you're watching, if you're new, please subscribe. If you haven't, it's time to smash the like before we wrap it up. It's been a great show. And remember, after the show, go into the non-live section. Give us your thoughts on the latest current events, and I will try to answer as good as I can. It's been a great show. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Stu. And we will see you Sunday night. So everybody have one good night.
Stay safe. Stay safe. All of you.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.